and I've actually been talking about this shit on stage, and I don't give a fuck because it's such a topical bit. I don't even know if people are going to think it's funny in a month. But can we please talk about fucking Bill O'Reilly going on The View? I gotta tell you something right now. I don't like that guy's politics. I don't like his face. He has that racist face. You know, when he gets mad, his face gets pointy. He just looks evil. He's just not a pleasant human being whatsoever. But I got to tell you, he fucking destroyed on The View. You know? And somewhere in there was a victory for men because he took on 4 fucking women. They were all yelling, nah, 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 and he got 2 of them to walk off their own fucking show. How do you do that? As a comedian, I was embarrassed that 2 stand-up comics just quit, which is why I'm nominating Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg as douchebags of the week. What did you think was going to – do you think he was going to go – no, wait, don't leave. That's exactly what the fuck he wanted you to do. I was actually hoping at that point that the other 2 women were going to leave and then he could just start hosting the O'Reilly Factor on The View. That would have been – he just totally 100% dominated, at the very least, that segment because I don't watch that fucking show. But – he just came on. First of all, he sits down. He's got on that shiny fucking Joe Pesci suit. It's difficult to say. Joe Pesci suit. And he's got his fucking legs spread like with his ball bag hanging, his shiny ball bag. He looked like, if you ever see like when Kennedy debated Nixon, how if you listen to it on the radio, how everybody said Nixon won, but if you watched it on TV, Nixon was all tanned up. He had his legs crossed. He looked like a winner. And Nixon sat there with his fucking legs splayed and crossed like underneath the chair. He looked like a fucking moron. That's what Bill O'Reilly looked like, and he still dominated. I love when he turned to Joy and was just whatever. I'm paraphrasing here, but he was just like, be quiet and learn. And she had nothing. A fucking stand-up comic. She had nothing. The whole segment was fucking hilarious. And when he goes, another gem of a moment was when he goes, you know, a lot of people don't realize this, but 70% of Americans don't want a mosque at ground zero. And Joy goes, well, I'd like to see that poll or something like, and as she's saying that, the crowd is applauding what Bill O'Reilly just said. So you really don't need to see the poll at that point. And getting beyond that, what he really should have said was 70% of Americans don't realize that they're not building a mosque at ground zero still, that they're actually making a rec room with a ping pong table and an area to pray, kind of like they have an area to pray at every fucking airport, you know, 3-4 blocks up the street at a goddamn coat factory is where it's actually being built. But the fact that he said that they're still building a mosque and that he got an applause break, Joy is so wrapped up into her own fucking opinion that she doesn't even hear her own studio audience back up the guy that she's trying to shit on. And the fact that this fucking guy is still putting out inaccurate information that people are still backing up. It just was fucking awesome on all of those levels. And I like how Barbara Walters was old school cool, and she didn't walk off. She gave those 2 douchebags of the week shit for walking off their own show. And then she got him with a nice little classy zinger. He said, Bill O'Reilly's on here this week. When we come back, we're going to talk, or he's on the show today. When we come back, he's going to talk about his new book called Pinheads and Patriots. And then she looked at Bill and she goes, at this point, I'm not sure which you are, or something like that. It was a great little zinger. But she wasn't like judging the guy. I don't know. The whole thing was funny. And just how Bill O'Reilly is viewed as this intolerant person. And then he comes on the show of, I guess, mostly liberals. And then they show absolutely no tolerance for him and then throw a fucking temper tantrum and walk off their own goddamn show. I mean, you can't tell me everybody over at Fox News wasn't literally jerking off to that moment. Bill O'Reilly almost became a fucking rock star in that moment. That was like a stand-up comic moment that he did to two comedians, which blew my mind. You know, and I know I'm always trashing the broads on this show, but that really was a chick way of handling losing an argument. Like, I'm just going to get up and storm out. You're so used to people paying for your drinks and holding the goddamn door for you. You actually thought that as an adult that you were just going to walk off the show and this was going to be this big moment and he was going to be like, oh, wait a minute, let me stop. I loved it. He was like, go ahead and leave. I don't give a fuck. I'll continue. I'll take over your fucking show. So anyways, there you go. Douchebags of the week, Joe Behar and Whoopi Goldberg for walking off your own fucking show when a shiny suit fucking, I can't say he's a moron because he does know, I mean, look, he's very read up on that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm too stupid. This is why this is right here why I would never engage. As much as I disagree with his opinions, I don't fucking pay attention to politics at all. I don't. I find it frustrating. I find it to be just a rigged fucking game. I don't give a fuck. You know? And so I would never try to, as much as I disagree with Bill O'Reilly, I would never go on his show and try to fucking one-up the guy and think I'm going to beat the guy in an argument about politics. It's like he's paying attention to these politicians the way I give a fuck about football. I'm not gonna win that argument. I mean, why don't I bring fucking Roy Jones Jr. over and start debating him about boxing? I don't know. It's just it was fucking hilarious. The whole thing was it was hilarious, and big fucking victory for that fucking. I don't know. As a stand-up comic, you just tap out. That was embarrassing. Anyways, let's get on with the goddamn podcast for this week. I kind of like that. Do you guys like that format? Just getting the douchebag of the week out of the way right off the fucking bat.
Yeah, I've had a fucking brutal week, man. I lost my fucking shit. Like, my temper has never been worse. It's never been worse. I need to fucking relax. I was working all day, and all I wanted was some spaghetti and meatballs. They got this fucking Italian joint. They make the homemade noodles. The meatballs are fucking damn good, you know, and I just had a craving for it. I'm like, I'm fucking getting that, right? So I get home, and I say to my lovely wife, I go, hey, can you fucking hit the app thing that gets the person to go pick up your food, and we'll once again, you know, have faith that this person outside of the food industry is not going to do anything to this food. You know, have you seen that thing, the guy in the fucking elevator eating some shit off the top of the pizza? And of course we call the restaurant, they don't do it. Postmate it. Can you postmate the fucking thing? And they're like, oh, we don't do that over here. We're a real restaurant. So I'm like, all right, well, so we put in the order. My wife wanted some white fish. I'm going to get the spaghetti. So I fucking drive over there. And it's jam-packed with people. I go, yeah, hey, I'm picking up order. She goes, oh, is that for the spaghetti and the white fish? I was like, yeah, it was. She's like, oh, we ran out of fish, so I didn't put it in. Did you still want the spaghetti? And I swear to God, man, it's like, we fucking called 10 minutes ago. It took you 10 minutes to figure out you were out of fish. I just said, you know what? Hang on a second, because I knew I was going to snap. And I just walked out of the restaurant. And the second I got outside, I just started cock-sucking motherfucker. The fuck does it take to fucking goddamn fucking motherfucking spaghetti? Just flipping out, right? Wasn't screaming, just cock-sucking, that type of shit, right? Far away, you'd think I was speaking German. I was a cock-sucking motherfucker, right? And I heard these two people. These people are eating outside. they started laughing at me, right? And I didn't give a shit. And I just, motherfucking, and then got in my Prius and just glided away, just whoosh. Made a complete and utter fucking fool of myself. Complete and utter fucking fool of myself. And, you know, I go through these great periods. It's almost like my cigar smoking. I just go through these great periods where I'm just not, I got it under control. And then it just slowly, you know, spins out of control. And right now, you know, I'm not smoking a lot. I'm drinking a little bit, but nothing crazy. I think I have everything under control, and just something's got to give. You know what I mean? It's like you give up smoking, you eat like a fucking pig. You know? I don't know. You start working out. There's always something, just got to balance it out. These fucking people that are nothing but do-gooders. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're robots. I don't know what they are. Or maybe they just never exposed themselves to fun shit. But for the love of God, I can't do it. I cannot 100% just be a decent human being. I don't think it's possible. I have too much free time. Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe I'm just a piece of shit and I'm looking for an excuse.
To do. Huh? Am I going to go holiday shopping with all these fucking maniacs and get pepper sprayed because I'm trying to buy a juicer? You know? I don't have 1 ounce of fucking sympathy for any fucking idiot out there. I don't give a fuck about your financial goddamn position. Go make a popsicle stick house. Okay? Don't fucking go down to Walmart and sit there with your goddamn fucking big gulp face pressed against the glass trying to run down an aisle with 4 other crazed maniacs trying to get a waffle iron. What the fuck is wrong with you? Walk in there like a gentleman. All right? Go in there some other time when it's not fucking mayhem. And why don't you do this? Pay full price and buy less shit. Why don't you do that? You know, well, let me guess. Is this insensitive? Well, what about the people that don't have any money? Well, then you just buy less shit. How, you know what the fastest fucking way to still having no money is to go down to a fucking department store and buy a ton of shit. These people, they're fucking idiots. You know, I'm not saying that they weren't blessed, that they didn't get some gifts from a higher power. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that some of them can't sing a song, can't do a dance, can't fix a fucking motor. I'm not saying that. This is why I'm saying you're a fucking idiot. Because you're buying into the hype. The same way those stupid fucking nerd cunts buy into this fucking iPad, iPod, the new iPhone every fucking goddamn 6 months. They get themselves all worked up into this fucking frenzy. And they're going on the website trying to say, how many are there? How many are there? It's completely, it's false panic. It's man-made. I swear to God, you know what kills me is Walmart has I have not been able to find their reaction to basically, I mean, aren't they in a sales way screaming fire in a crowded movie theater? Isn't this what, I mean, every fucking year? I remember this security guard got trampled. He had a fucking heart attack. The guy died because somebody's trying to go down and buy a fucking He-Man doll for half price. You know, so somebody can pop the head off and have a toddler get it lodged in their throat. These are all facts, people. All this shit's happened. All right, Porter Ranch. Where the fuck is Porter Ranch? That just sounds like one of those states, right? Just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm, went down to the Walmart to get some fucking chaps, and he shot an unarmed man. Got in his Challenger, and then he fucking drove away. Where the fuck is it? I lost it. Woman pepper sprayed. Porter Ranch. All right, Porter Ranch. Would you like balsamic vinaigrette, or would you like the Porter Ranch? Here we go. Oh, you cunt. Porter Ranch. Oh, that's fucking Los Angeles. Get the fuck out of here. It's an affluent neighborhood in the northwest region of the San Fernando Valley. See? Look at me getting exposed for the moron I am. That's even worse. You know, I refuse to believe that rich people went down to a fucking Walmart with pepper spray. I'm not buying this one. Have they seen the lady who did it? Anyways, people, stop buying into this fucking crap. You know, take some power back in your own life. You know what you should do on Black Friday? Stay home. St. Patrick's Day. Bunch of morons going out, drinking their faces off, being loud, the green alligators, singing these stupid songs with plastic hats on their heads, and eventually they're either going to punch you in the face or throw up on your shoes. Stay home like a fucking gentleman. Go out, go down to the liquor store, get yourself a nice bottle of scotch, have a few friends come over, you know, make your corned beef sandwiches there, you know, and then watch some fucking Irish mob movie. Go watch State of Grace or some shit. I don't fucking know. But you don't go down there for that horse shit. You don't go out on Valentine's. Go out on Valentine's. Go get yourself sushi that's been marked up 300%. Go fuck yourself. You go out on the 15th. I can't say I love you on that day. You know, independent thought, people. On a very low level. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm just realizing there's other days in the year where you can go and walk into a store and buy a fucking Flowbee without getting run through with a fucking Swifter mop handle. Just should have said Swifter. There's a lesson in comedy. Without getting run through by a fucking Swifter. That would have been funny, but I got run through with a Swifter mop handle. It's like I was in a band and I stopped fucking late. Oh, Jesus. Oh, jeez, Bill, you can't even say it funny. Let's read about this. Porter Ranch. All right, Porter Ranch. The woman accused of shooting pepper spray at other customers at a busy Walmart store in Porter Ranch, injuring 20, was described by police today as about 5 foot 3 inches tall, between the ages of 32 and 38, with black hair and brown eyes. Police do not have a description of the vehicle the woman was driving. Well, I'd like to make a guess, if I could. I'm going to say she was driving some sort of Chrysler vehicle. Probably some rusted out cab forward design, you know, with one of the tail lights, you know, the backup lights hanging down. Los Angeles Police Department fucking detective said detectives are actively working on the case but are not expected to receive surveillance video from Walmart until early next week because of technical glitches. How hilarious is that? I bet if that bitch went in there and robbed the fucking store, cleaned out all the registers, how quickly do you think Walmart would have got that video over? Yeah, you know, we don't have technical glitches. That's how fucking powerful Walmart is. They just told the cops to stand down. We'll get you the video when our lawyers are done looking at it. That's what the fuck that means. Do you know how much money we generate for this community, officer? Huh? I live in a gated community with my own fucking private police force that has better guns than yours. We'll get you the video when we're good and goddamn fucking ready. No wonder Walmart hasn't made a comment. You know, they never used to have this shit when I was a kid. Or at the very least, it was never reported. You know, they'd start to have sales, but it wasn't this fucking mania. I'm an asshole. I got to do that next year. Next year, I'm going to hire a camera crew. And I'm going to go down there, and I'm going to just fucking start talking to these people and ask them, what is all the excitement about? What do you think is in there that's going to make your life better? Huh? What do you think's in there? And don't give me this sad sack fucking story about how you got kids and it's Christmas time and if there's no presents under the fucking tree, what's going to happen? Gee, I don't know. Biggie Smalls seemed to make it work. Didn't he? He just rapped about being broke and everyone related to it. And then he sold a bunch of albums and then he got shot. All right, that was a bad example. Look, all I'm saying is this. All right? There's no reason. You know, you're probably thinking that I'm trashing you for going. I just don't want you.
I want you to just have fucking respect for yourself. Like those fucking idiots when they go to a goddamn game and those skipping jackasses come out with the free T-shirts and everybody reaching over everybody. I just wish once I could just have some sort of crowd mind control. And as they sat there, you know, skipping around with their eyebrows up like, huh? Do you want it? Do you want it? Everybody just sort of sits there staring back at them until it's so fucking awkward they just have to throw it. And then it just sort of lands in the aisle and nobody picks it up. And then, of course, the people who own the arena is like, well, someone's going to trip on that. We're going to get sued. And then they got to send those skipping jackasses to go pick up all their T-shirts that nobody wanted. And then they're left with a fucking truckload of them. That's what I would like to see happen. Stop trying to get me excited about shit. You know what Walmart has in it? It has a bunch of shit. What do they really have in there? Bicycles, Foreman grills, shackets, rakes. What else do they got? Fucking DVD player. I mean, you can't get one of those for $9 on the goddamn internet. I don't know. I just think if you're in a financial position where you have to risk being trampled to death, where you basically have to go to the store version of the running of the bulls to get a goddamn fucking, I don't know, grilled cheese maker. I'm running out of dumb shit to talk about. Or a PlayStation or whatever the fuck it is. If you have to do that, you can't afford it. And if you go out and buy the fucking thing, you're just sticking yourself further behind the fucking rock. Why don't you just have a couple of light Christmases so then you can have a better Christmas? You know? Why don't you do that instead of doing what all these fucking dumb cunts in that Real Housewife show do? You know? Pay for that cash money. Those fucking morons who do not understand money. You know? Oh, I'm on my soapbox this week. Yeah. Just live with nothing for a while. As long as you can fucking eat and you got plenty of water, you're fine. Do you realize if you have enough to eat and you have water, do you realize that you're living better than probably a third of the world? Just doing that. Having a place to take a shit. Having clothes on your back, having toothpaste and a toothbrush. Do you understand how fucking far ahead you are? You don't need any of that shit. And yes, it's nice to have, but it's not worth going down there and falling down and having your wig fall off or your fucking ass crack hanging out. All the shit that I've seen. Dislocating your knee. Having some poor bastard trying to hold people back and he has a heart attack and he dies. Oh, I'm too small. I need a competitive edge. Let me go get some bear mace. Like, do you understand, like, how caught up into the fucking frenzy you are that you make those goddamn decisions? You don't even need to be down there. Just go down to a fucking Osco drug. Do those things still exist? Whatever happened to the old days? Leechmares. Remember that? I was talking about that with some buddies yesterday. Go down to Leechmares. Why don't you go down to the lumber yard and go make some toys like a fucking elf? Anything. Anything. You know, other than, I mean, couldn't you just go like, look, we don't have, say to your kids, we don't have money for Christmas this year. All right? We don't, but I do have money to take you to a ball game. I'll take us all out to a ball game. All right? And just know this, we're going to have better Christmases. But the most important thing is that we're all together and we all love each other. And that we don't get trampled by some hot dog eating jackass with a can of fucking bear mace. It's more important to me. Fucking showing up Christmas, you know, dressed up as Santa Claus with your dislocated shoulder and your fucking eyes are all red. Ho, ho, ho! Santa's here! Don't hug Santa. Santa hurts. I don't know. I'm sure I'm going to get some fucking hate mail over this. That was so insensitive to people who don't have money. I know they don't have money, but they have fucking brains. Bill, why do you always only have one TV? Because I live within my means, which is why I don't go down to Black Friday and get trampled by some fucking big gulp tub of shit with a can of mace. All right? Those people who got mace, that lady did them a favor. Do you think any of those cunts are going to come back next Friday or next Black Friday? You think they're going to come down there for that shit? They're not. They got the beat down they deserved.
I remember the Boston Comedy Club.
Yeah, man. What, are you kidding me? Of course.
I mean, that was
crazy.
Like, I always wondered if it was because we were new to doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And we didn't know what we were doing, that room was so just the death that you could die in that fucking building, or if it really was as difficult. I mean, it was fucking insane. When I first came down, like 94, it was like people selling drugs right outside the front of it. You walked in, it was an absolute shithole. Barry Katz owned it, put like fucking 3 cents into the thing. They had that old fucked up looking fireplace.
Yeah, of course.
Behind you on stage, and like the piece of wood could come out. And I just remembered when you went in there, it was like, I don't know, if it was any other room, I would have been like, you know what, fuck this. After I took a pound, I'd be like, fuck this place. This place is fucked up. But there was something about it because of the comics that were working there.
The guys that were working there were insane.
Yeah, man. You wanted to be able to have a good set in there.
When you first broke in there, you were like nervous, and then like maybe a year or so in, you find yourself putting your elbow on the mantle. That's when you know you're comfortable there. Dude, I got one of the most embarrassing things in my life on stage happened at that club. It was one of those urban nights, okay?
Oh, dude, one of the 12 embarrassing things in my life happened in that fucking club.
Now, I was only about, I don't know, maybe a year into comedy, right? And I just started becoming a little friendly with Brewer. So now I go down there one night, and I would just hang out, try to get on, that sort of thing. And Brewer and Chappelle meet up, and they're going to go around the corner. This is, again, years and years ago, and they're going to smoke a joint, and they invite me to come.
What was this, like 92, 3, 4?
Like 94, 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So we go around the bend. And
so just to put it in perspective, Men in Tights for...
No, Nutty Professor he was making, and Brewer was on Saturday Night Live.
He was? Okay, yes. Cool. All right.
Because we go around the bend, and I'm like just being quiet, so excited to be hanging here, right? And we're smoking the joint, and... Chappelle's telling the famous story about his end from Eddie Murphy being mad at David Spade for that. You remember that famous story?
Oh, yeah.
Where Spade said, "Look, a falling star," and it's a picture of Eddie Murphy.
Catch a falling star. Yeah. Spade just recently wrote a blog about it. It's like famous. Everybody knows that story. It's still going on. I think he finally saw Eddie, and Eddie said, "Hey, what's up?" So I think it's finally... Like fucking 20 years later, it's finally over, yeah.
And at that point, it was wild because I'm sitting there getting Chappelle's end of it because he's doing Nutty Professor with Eddie Murphy when that happened.
Right.
And then Brewer's on with Spade on Saturday Night Live, so they're telling each other's version of the phone call and stuff. And I'm like, wow. So then we go back to the club. And again, packed, urban night, as we said. It was a little cold, so I'd gotten there early, and I put my coat down.
So this is Sunday night, the all-black show.
Yeah.
For people don't know what urban night is.
Yeah. And
it's not Urban Outfitter night.
And this is important to know, because I put my coat down, and they're both high, and Jason, who runs the club at the time, goes, "Who wants to go in first? Jim, you, Dave, you?" And they go, no, let me relax. And they go, put Petey on, you know. And I'm freaking high. I'm not even good at comedy, really. So they put me on first. Dying, right? I'm bombing. I'm 3 minutes in. Brewer and Chappelle are dying laughing. I do about 5 minutes to the point where, black people going, "He's corny. Get him off. He's corny." Right?
Brutal.
So I get off, and now all I want to do is go home, right? I can't find my fucking coat. I have no idea where my coat is. My keys to my apartment are in my coat. It's totally dark. I'm doing that where you're walking around, and you swear it's under somebody's seat, and you're like, can I just?
And they just saw you bomb.
Yeah. And now these women are going, "What you want? And then... There's a black host, and he goes, "What's going on back there? And someone yells out, "White boy can't find his coat. The white boy can't find his coat." So he goes, "Turn the motherfucking lights on. And they turn the lights on, and they're all looking around going, "Is this your coat? Is this your..." And I'm walking around trying to find, and finally some lady in the back, I remember I put it by that little bar in the back area.
God.
She goes, "Is this your coat?" And I go, "Yeah." And I go over and I get my coat, and they give me a big applause. And they go, "You keep warm. Get out of here, white boy. Bye-bye." Oh, and I just took my coat, and they put the lights on, and I went home, dude. Oh, shit.
You know something? What I hated.
Nobody pays dues like that anymore. They do 5 minutes of stand-up, and then they're on a goddamn special. Sorry, bro.
I know. It seems like that.
Yeah.
I was just saying that what I always loved and hated about black crowds was... They're going to have fun either way. They're either having fun with you because you're killing, or they're going to laugh at you. Either way, you kill.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be either you tell the joke and people laugh, or you tell the joke, there's a pause, somebody else says something, and then there's like the big laugh. Dude, I remember one time fucking eating it in front of all black crowd, and there was this comedy club called Mix Nuts, and now it's called Comedy Union out here in California, so out here in L.A., and I go up there, dude, and just from the get-go, I am just bombing.
Yeah.
30 seconds in, I got dry mouth, and then I'm just plowing through my act, and nobody is saying anything. There's not a sound in the room. It's just the sound of my dry lips as I'm fucking doing these jokes. And finally, 2.5 excruciating minutes of dead silence. This big girl in the back, just calm as shit, just looks at her friend and just goes, I ain't laughed yet. And the whole place just goes, "Wah!" And everybody, and then they just started laughing at me, and I didn't know how to address it, and I stayed in my act and just stayed in the bubble like I was doing my show at some other comedy club where people were listening, dude, and it was fucking... I'm getting embarrassed now. The fucking humiliation of that.
To stay in your act is the worst part about it, too. It's like you're just trying to hide behind this bubble of words that don't exist, man, you know?
No, you have to. You have to address it. Like, it's weird. Like, a white crowd will almost get uncomfortable with you. But either way, you have to break the tension. But getting back to the Boston Comedy Club, dude, I had such horrific sets there when I first started. You know, when you first came to town, like Steinberg and Frost would fucking test you and they put you on after Red Johnny and the Round Guy.
Oh, God, yeah.
Who murdered. They were this comedy team. And I remember they would end their set doing their version of that song, It Takes Two. It takes two to make a thing go right. And
Insane,
go,
insane.
Yeah. And they would be flicking the fucking lights on and off. And dude, you literally felt like, dude, I don't have a joke in my act. And they would just throw you up there.
The show's over after that. The show is over. Everybody go home after
The only guy I ever saw, new guy I ever saw go down and fucking not only kill, but fucking level after it was Dane Cook. Dane Cook
I believe that.
had the energy. Oh, yeah, dude. He went up there. And that's the funny thing about all the fucking shit that was said about that guy. Like, they don't understand, like, the level that guy murdered. I'll never understand that, right? Dude, he went up there and just fucking, like, he treated them like he was they were like his opener. He just took it to an entirely different level. Yeah. And I remember Steinberg years later was talking about him, and Jason ran the room back then, and he said to me, he just said, yeah, man, he goes, I couldn't bury the kid. I couldn't bury him. And I remember thinking, like, yeah, I knew you guys used to do that. You used to, when guys came down, it was the exact opposite of any other club where they'd be like, oh, he's a new guy, put him up early, put him up after the fucking, you know, okay act. When you went to the Boston Comedy Club, they threw you right into the fire and right into the deep end. Yeah. And I think that's why I kept going back there. Dude, we used to walk by that club, and during the day, if I saw it, I got sick to my stomach. Just going like, oh, God, that fucking... Like, dude, it literally had my heart.
Sometimes I didn't even recognize it during the day. I'd be halfway past it and go, oh, shit, there it is, just because it's such a night thing, a dark night thing. But the thing about it, too, is, you know, the idea that you had to go through there and do that. Sometimes I'll be on the road now and, like, these features go... I'm deciding if I should move to L.A. or New York and da-da-da, and they're talking about comedy. And, like, the one question, like, you got to ask yourself is, do you love it? You got to love it so much that, like, we were blind to that, man. It was no big deal. You walk home after getting beated and battered there and...
Yeah, and you know what's funny? You know what kills me? Is quitting. I never even thought about quitting. I would just immediately be thinking about... After I was getting past it, I would try to think of, like how I could do better the next time. I just remember the worst part was just when you went to bed and you're just laying in your fucking bed. I had a walk-through bedroom, railroad apartment back then. Remember that shit up on 97th Street, right?
Yeah.
And I would fucking just be laying there in the bed just like with the humiliation of the set just going through my fucking head and everything. And like it would take you all the way into like maybe 2 p.m. of the next day to finally get your feet, for me anyways, get my feet back underneath me, and then I'd have a spot at the Strip, and it'd go okay.
Oh, yeah, of course,
I'd be
man.
like, all right, thank God, I'm still funny. I'm still funny. Don't sleep on Pete Correale's new special. Let me tell you, it's streaming right now on show.com, SHO.com. Just click on comedy. He does an awesome podcast with Sebastian, who's one of the best comics out there. It's called The Pete and Sebastian Show on the Riotcast Network, which is www.riotcast.com. Your Twitter is mycorreale, CORREALE. Your website is www.petecorreale.com. All right, car shopping. Billy, oh Billy, I'm shopping around for a car for my wife as well. Me and my friends were talking about what the first question should be for the salesman. Do you have a first question? Yeah, I'll steal what my brother says. Yeah, whatever his name is. Hey, Randy, what's the real price on this car? He goes, I feel like it sets a precedent for the whole wheeling and dealing. My top choice is, how much under invoice can you sell me this car? I've paid under invoice. It's not a crazy thing. Lots of times... Oh, you're saying like before the options, you've paid under that? Well, what the fuck were you buying and when did you buy it? I've never done that. My big line is, what's the out the door price? And by out the door, I mean everything. The warranty, the tax, everything. The final number that I'm paying you. And I just have the number. I just go, what I always do is I always pitch like $2,000 above. Is it called not the one after all the options? It's that first number before they add the options. I always go $2,000 above that number. And I'm probably still getting fucked. I always get half a dick fucking thrown my way. I always do, you know. I always get fucked a little bit, but I actually enjoy the process. Like, I have fun with it. Each time I get fucked a little bit less. Like I did real well on this one, I felt. And, but who knows? You always feel like you're going to turn around and see them all laughing, slapping each other on the back, and then they're going to quickly stop and, sharpen a pencil as you look at them, after you leave. But, I would just, I don't know, read up on it, watch some YouTube videos. I had a lot of fun this time because I didn't give a fuck and I wasn't trading in the Prius. So I just kept saying that. I just kept saying, listen, dude, like, we'd like to buy this car, but we don't need to. I mean, I can get in that car right there and it drives great, man. It's a Toyota, I've kept it maintained. It's all beat up. I can park it. Nobody's going to steal a fucking 8-year-old Prius. It's a goddamn gem out there. So I had the guy laughing. So I go, look, this is what I want, right? So he goes and he fucking, grab asses with his manager and comes back. He's not even close. And he comes back with this big grin on his face. He goes, I'll tell you, this is a great deal. This is a great deal. And I just go, for who? For who? You? I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. At this point, if you look around the table, you're the only guy smiling. And then he kind of like, I go, I can't pay that. I can't pay. I got a check in my pocket right fucking now. I will. And I tell my wife to, and you always got to send your wife. If you bring your wife is a good thing because they think it's a weakness, right? Okay, and you got to get your wife on the same page. And at some point, you got to tell your wife to screw. Okay, you do it in a respectable way, but with the dash of Archie Bunker. Be like, honey, go. Do me a favor. Could you just go? Go look over the cars over there. Blah blah. You make it look like you got this old school fucking relationship, like she actually has dinner prepared when you come home. All right. And as much as your wife isn't going to like in that moment that feeling, it works good for you in the negotiation because now it gives this guy the perception that you actually are making decisions in your relationship because they buy on the fact that the emotion of the female, but I like it, right? When you send them off and just be like, look, I want to get this car for my wife, all right? But I'm not a dope. This is what I'm paying, okay? This is what I am paying. I'm willing to pay this. If you get me this number, I'm going to buy this car today. You're going to make a sale, and you're never going to have to look at this car again. That's the deal. That's my number. Okay? Dude, my brother's amazing at it. He always comes in. His line is he comes in and he always gets the guy's name, and I feel like that gives him power. He'd be like, what's your name? And the guy would be like, Steven. And he goes, Steven, you see this right here? This is a large coffee, an extra large coffee. That's what he says. You know why I got this? He goes, because this is going to be a long negotiation until I'm going to get what I want. He comes hard right out of the fucking gate. And he's like a comic that never stops writing. When we were kids, we used to go down to car dealerships and pretend that we were going to this is way back in the 80s. We used to pretend that we were going to buy a car so we could test drive all these cars. And my brother used to just fuck with all these salesmen. I used to do it with him, and I used to do it with another one of my friends. One day we skipped high school, and we went down and we said that we were seniors in high school, which we were. We said we were stepbrothers. It was hilarious. I had like fucking fire engine red hair, and my buddy was like fucking 6'2", looked like a movie star, all tall, dark, handsome. We looked nothing alike. So we said we were stepbrothers. And initially the salesman looked at us like, what the fuck? And we said that we were both going to be going to the same college next year, and that our parents were going to buy us a vehicle to share. And they're both really busy, and they told us to come down and pick out a car. So immediately they thought that we were a couple of fucking rich kids and that we didn't know shit. So, we went down, we took out a Chrysler Laser. I remember we took out the Chrysler Laser, and I think that guy actually knew. No, the LeBaron. It was like the LeBaron. I remember the big deal was it had a digital speedometer, which we thought was fucking amazing in like fucking 1986 or 7, whenever the fuck we did it. So my biggest thing and the thing that I learned is when you go in there, you have to be prepared to walk. You have to know the number that you're going to pay, and to definitely go in there and have fun. And when the salesman tries to buddy with you and do all that type of shit, I mean, I don't know. There's a couple different ways you can play it. You can laugh along with them, or you can just kind of stare back at him and just literally. Dude, my brother would literally just be like Steve, I'm not here to try to listen to jokes. Like, this isn't a funny thing here. I know what goes on down here, and I don't want to be a part of it. You understand? This is what I'm paying. And dude, how great is this? Is an extra large coffee. Do you know why I got this? Because this is going to be a long, drawn-out negotiation until I get what I want. That's just fucking classic. All right. So, once again, I really didn't give you any information. I'm still learning what to do, but I used to be really intimidated by it. But this last one, somewhere in the middle of the negotiation on my wife's car, I actually really started having fun and realized the power that I had. And I just said, I'm not paying any more than this. I'm not paying any more than this. And then I got the number that I wanted. And then I went, and then when I went to get the warranty, they tacked that on, and I was like, don't. And then they tacked on the tax, don't. So I ended up getting fucking 2 right there, Fred. So I still got fucked. But now I know. I know for the next time. It's like bombing as a comedian. So I had him. I had him dead to rights. And we let him off the hook. So I still got fucked. But, at least this time I had fun. So watch out for that. I would just say, know the number that you want, and make sure you just say the out the door price, and make sure that you say that this includes the warranty and all the bullshit and the tax, everything. This is the final fucking number. I walk out, I get the car. You washed it, the whole goddamn thing. This is the number. You have to say that repeatedly. And that's where I fucked up. All right. You know what? I'm man enough to admit it.
So anyways, I'm glad you're here to taper this part. So I was over here, and Nia showed me the cover of what magazine was that?
Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair.
Are we talking about Caitlyn Jenner?
Yeah.
The Kardashians.
You just blew it. I was going to fucking build the whole thing up, and then, because I was looking at it going, how do I know? I'm like, how do I know that chick? Is that somebody we know?
You're like, I know that woman.
And I'm thinking, she's not good enough. She's not good looking enough to be on the cover. Is she a publicist? Is she some famous publicist? And then it was me, Caitlyn Jenner. Caitlyn with a C. Mm-hmm. Wow. I got to tell you, man, that is the
Congratulations, Caitlyn Cakes.
I know, I got to tell you, that's the most hardcore thing I've ever seen played out in, like, all that Marilyn Manson shit and Alice Cooper and Ozzy biting the head off a bat. Nothing compares to the what the fuck factor. And I'm not,
You're comparing like shock rock tactics to someone becoming transgendered. I really don't.
Somebody that you knew.
Not.
Can you let me
continue with your ignorant thought? Sure.
No, that's you shouldn't say that. This is the first time I ever experienced this. I had to be able to fucking say what I'm thinking. You see, his own daughters are going like, so wait a minute, you're going to be borrowing my toenail polish? They got to get their head around it. I'm allowed to get my head around it. God bless him. Okay, that's what he wanted to do. Well, he did it. Now he's a she, is he? But he still has his dick, right?
Bill.
Does he?
She wants to be called she. She wants to be called Caitlin.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
Call her she.
I'm all right with that.
She has not had surgery. No, she has not. I think that's something she might do in the future.
Okay, so she has a penis and she still is she at this point.
Correct.
So the reality is you don't have to do any of that. You could just say, I want to be called she, and people should just respect it.
Pretty much, because it's the whole idea about gender not necessarily being rooted in physicality or sexuality, it being more of a state of mind.
So this is like some...
Which is a big debate, of course. But
so this is like some Ornette Coleman shit.
Who's that?
With your body. Ornette Coleman, he was one of those guys who played so free with jazz, there was really no one. And even like Charlie Parker would walk off the bandstand going, I don't know what the fuck these guys are playing.
Okay.
Is that right? I think this is a groundbreaking thing.
Yep.
That he's the first, and he will be like, he's like the, I don't know.
First what, though?
Well, I'm not going to wade into that fucking sinkhole. God knows I'll say the wrong fucking thing.
There was a transgendered person on the cover of Time magazine last year, which was actually the first.
No, but I mean, as far as
Laverne Cox from Orange Is the New Black.
What was her name before that? Larry?
I don't know, and it doesn't fucking matter.
I think you should keep your like.
She's
like
amazing.
I would be. I go from Bill. I would be Beth.
Would you?
Beth.
Oh
Burr.
wait, can we talk about that? Let's talk about if you decided to transition. Would you really go by Beth?
No, I think I'd be Janet, and I would be such a cunt. It would,
So
it would be
pretty much
ridiculous.
the same, right?
Yeah. But you know me now as a male, I'm awarded for being an asshole. You know that ridiculous feminist theory that if a woman does it, she's a cunt, but if a guy does it, they're like, oh, you want to be president? Fucking morons.
I feel like men are definitely called assholes when they're assholes, but I don't think they're morons for saying that. Men get to
do what?
Get to act, especially in business, in a more let's say cutthroat, like a Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban's a fucking dick, but Mark Cuban is also brilliant and a really successful businessman. But I feel like more often than not, he gets called brilliant and amazing.
No, he doesn't.
Even though
he gets called a jackass all the time.
Does?
All the time. When he runs out on the court and does all that stuff. Get off the court, you jackass.
I thought people were always saying, like, you know, Mark Cuban is a, you know, business genius and, you know,
No, he is. But he is. He's undeniably is, but he doesn't get good reviews. That guy gets trashed all the time. No. You know what it is you guys have bad experiences with men while you're dating, and they get to be dicks and bang you and then leave, and you never quite are able to wash that off. So I think that you guys then look at us in a certain way.
I'm able to separate my experiences from dating dicks to dealing with dicks in day-to-day life. I am not so simple-minded and, like, one-dimensional that it's like, oh, my God, a guy dumped me one time, and now they're all dicks. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
But there was a period in your life. You can't tell me that you didn't get a little petty. I did.
I actually never did.
I did. All those guys that dumped me. No, I had it. Yeah,
I didn't necessarily have the greatest track record with men, but I didn't write you all off because of that. I still was looking for love.
Listen.
What?
All right. So what I'm saying is, as far as like the most hardcore fucking thing I've ever seen, as far as just spinning your head around like, holy shit, is the fact that Bruce Jenner, unlike that other woman who I don't even know who the fuck that is, who's on Time magazine, is that this guy, you gotta understand, my whole life, I've known this guy from like second grade on. Yeah. He won the decathlon. He was on the Wheaties box. Mm-hmm. He was on Chips. He got a nose job, and then he disappeared, and then he came back on the Kardashians, and he was walking around in the background. And I remember Lawhead had this great fucking bit about, just being like, what the, why are you sitting there getting bitched at? You got a fucking gold medal for the decathlon. They got you walking around in the background, you know, like, you know, I should be walking around with that medal around your neck or something, right? To then, I remember when TMZ was chasing around saying that he was having a sex change. I was like, oh my God, leave the guy alone. You know, he doesn't like his face, you know, and I don't know. He's doing whatever the fuck he's doing, and then it turned out they were right. And now when he comes out, call me Caitlin. I mean, this is the thing, like, because what I don't get is there's going to be a lot of people that get in trouble as they're trying to fucking process this for the first time. This is their first time experiencing. I think you ought to allow people to have that first dumb thing that comes out of their mouth, not understanding and being like, what? But everybody's going to jump on them.
You know what?
Someone will lose their
good point.
Someone will lose their career. To sit there and watch this guy, like you wanted to be this guy, you wanted to be Bruce Jenner. I wanted my hair parted down the middle and feathered to the side. I wanted to be a motorcycle cop. I wanted to do all of that shit. And then all of a sudden, I remember reading articles about him, like his fucking life. You know, he's in between, you know, girlfriends or whatever. And they went to his house and he had some Porsche Target. I still remember this in Sports Illustrated. A Porsche Target in the garage that he walked by and he ran his fingers along. He had a little bit of dust on it. I'm like, this guy's, he's so the shit that he just has a leftover Porsche. I mean, this dude was like a guy's guy to then, boom, go that 180 the other fucking way.
Yeah, I think people should be definitely allowed to be honest with it. I just feel like the cruelty is what's unnecessary.
No, not cruelty, but you ought to be able to say, like, Bruce, what the fuck? Sorry, Canton, what the fuck? Wow. Wait a minute. Can I sit down for a second?
They were talking to one of his sons from his other marriages, like Brandon or something, and he said she lifted up her dress to show his son her new boobs.
No!
And he goes, "Whoa, I'm still your son." Because it's like, yeah, whoa, wait, just give me a second. And then another one of his sons.
No, but he would never, when he was show his balls.
Of course.
It's where you came from, son.
Of course. No, of course. It was definitely, that would be very weird.
No, but that's always been my theory.
But, and the
girls who get fake boobs will show them to you like they got their nails done. Because it's an insecurity thing. So they'll be like, see? Check out the girls.
I have two friends with amazing boob jobs. I never would have known. They're so good. You gotta pay for it. You know what I'm saying? You can't go out in there and get discount plastic surgery.
Don't go to Denny's when you get a boob job.
Like,
right?
whatever, the facial reconstruction that Caitlyn has had is fucking amazing. Now, of course, she still is a handsome woman, but like, it looks good. And those tits,
I don't even know what you're talking about. What
fabulous.
did you just mean she's still a handsome woman? Did you mean that she started off as a handsome guy?
No, there are some women that are like handsome.
This whole thing that I'm saying
like
right now,
Katharine
listen to
Hepburn.
me. This whole thing that I just said.
What?
Do you mean like that? That's the handsome guy, or like the woman right now? You know what? This whole fucking scenario is why I never watched Lost.
What?
This is why I never watched Lost.
How did you come?
Because they were like, "Is this a dream state? Is there a fucking monster down here? What's going on?" And then now you're jumping back and forth on either side. It's like he's playing tennis against himself right now.
It's kind of like your ADD brain, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
It's kind of like bringing around insult Bill. Look, I'm on vacation. I'm trying to have a good time.
You, mon cher. But you know what else? One of his kids also, her kids, see? Even I'm slipping with the pronoun.
Oh, you homophobe, transgender hater. What's your career? We need to end it.
My career is lying around with you in France. Suck it.
No, that's that douche on Twitter who gave me shit. Anybody who starts a tweet with the word maybe, I'm done with.
Yeah.
Maybe don't blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What a cunt.
Oh, no, I was saying one of Caitlyn's sons said, I'm hoping, I think that, or something like that, Caitlyn will be a better parent than Bruce was. Something like that. No, I mean, she's been pretty open about it.
And then if Caitlyn starts crying, be like, Caitlyn, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Bruce.
No, by all accounts, especially his first set of kids,
he
wasn't there. Bruce wasn't there for them
because he was a fucking man.
And now that Bruce has become Caitlyn, you think
Bruce,
the femininity will
Bruce
be better?
won the gold medal. Caitlyn still has to prove herself. She hasn't won shit yet.
She's won all of our hearts.
All right, but you know something else? Then there's also the falling all over yourself. There's the ignorant being mean about it. Then also going the other way where you fall all over yourself. And if Caitlyn's being a cunt, you can't call her a cunt because she used to be Bruce, which is bullshit.
Well, I guess Bruce was an asshole because Bruce really wanted to be Caitlyn and was struggling and was taking it out on other people and was literally running away.
I think Caitlyn is going to be the biggest gossipy. She's going to go to brunch and just talk shit about everybody in her immediate circle.
I'm pretty excited to see how this unfolds. Actually, it's pretty major. Are you gonna watch her show?
No, I never watched the Kardashians.
Oh, that's true.
I hate those fucking shows.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And to be honest with you, I would have to. I'll just sort of walk by the TV and occasionally glance over. I need to ease my way into the fact.
You're gonna watch it over my shoulder.
And I have the fucking right to do that.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, when you make that big of a fucking change, Jesus Christ! I shaved my head. People like, what the fuck? Yeah, you got to give people. You got to be courteous. And let people like fucking, all right, let me, okay. You should have like 5-minute visits and then they increase to 10 and just got to gradually it's like you killed off the other person. You know what I mean?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, like where are they?
Yep. Gone.
Yeah, so then it's weird. It's like, well, I technically should be liking you, right? But you're not the other person, but you're still you. Mm-hmm. Do you think he did something like he sold his soul to the devil and he's like trying to beat the devil at his own game? And now just becoming like a woman at the end of his life so he can save his soul. And the devil's like, oh, where did Bruce go? And he's like, I don't know. It's like Angel Heart.
Are you talking about that movie with Lisa Bonet?
Yeah, and Mickey Rourke was fucking great. Louis Cypher. Anyways, who knows? I don't fucking know.
Bill Burr tackled Caitlyn Jenner.
No, I didn't. I'm getting my head around it, as I should be allowed to do.
Plowing ahead here. I saw a really annoying ad on the side of a bus today as I was ending my bike ride. It was this thing on the side of a bus about wearing condoms. And it was 2 guys and then a woman in the middle. And she was both telling them to have some willpower and use a condom. And once again, with all the bitching out there about all the sexist fucking shit out there. I guess maybe that's sexist because, like, what? You were going to have a threesome with these 2 guys? So maybe I guess women could bitch on that level. But as a guy, I'm sitting there looking at it, thinking about all the women that I got with, like, how many times, right? The moment of truth, and you go to reach for the condom. Have you been with a woman who would go, oh, God, I hate condoms? Would just sort of whisper that, and literally you'd feel like that fucking in your fucking stomach and your heart at the same time. Like, yeah, I think I'm putting on 2. I think I'm putting on 2 over there. Unless, of course, you were drunk. You'd be like, yeah, I hate them too. I have no idea where it just cut out. I moved my fucking... God damn it. I moved my computer. Fortunately, I only talked for a couple of seconds there. I was talking about that condom ad. I don't know where the fuck I left you at here. I was just thinking, how funny would it be if they actually... How long would that ad last if they put a woman there and in that ad and the guy's reaching for the condom and the woman said, oh, God, I hate condoms. You could never have it. They would be flipping the fuck out. Oh, by the way, you know, I watched a little bit of the Christ, who the hell was playing? The Raiders. What a fucking uniform, by the way. I'm saying right now, that's the best uniform in sports. Best uniform, silver and black. Come on, man, you can't fuck with that. I swear to God, now that Al Davis is gone, if any douche comes along and fucks with that emblem or those colors, you know. I felt bad for Raider fans as they were holding those signs up once again. Stay in Oakland. You know what I mean? Why do they put those fans through that shit? You know what I mean? Fucking babies, man. You started in Oakland. They love you. Why don't you pony up and fucking give a little bit of money towards your own fucking stadium, you asshole, instead of holding your fan base hostage like that? So ridiculous what the fuck they put those fans through, you know? Anyways, every 20 years. Yeah, we're going to leave. Go fuck yourselves. So anyway, so I'm watching it. They're playing the Cardinals, and they were showing the first female coach, then the first female referee, and then, you know, I'm watching Fox, and they had ladies' night where they had the women all, you know, anchors and all that type of stuff. And now that women are, and then, they're down on the fucking field, bugging the coaches as they're running into the locker room. I'm going to say, just as a male football fan, now that you guys have completely infiltrated the fucking league, you're basically at all levels. I know you're still going to, well, we're not an owner, or whatever. You're going to keep complaining all the way up to the top. Can you do me a favor? Just do me this favor. Can you not ruin it? Can you do that? Can you not ruin it the way you fucking you've ruined every guys only thing, whether it was sexist or not? You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck that you're in the league. I don't give a fuck that you're coaching, that you're reffing. I don't give a fuck if you own a fucking team. I don't give a fuck. Just don't ruin it. Okay? Fucking learn how to roll with the joke. Learn how to just be learn how to be fucking cool. Just fucking do that. That's all I ask. Don't fucking ruin it. Okay? Every 10 fucking seconds complaining. You know what I mean? About how your feelings got hurt. All right? Just fucking learn how to laugh at yourself and be one of the guys. And I mean that figuratively. I don't mean that like in any sexist fucking way. Just don't fucking ruin it. Oh, Jesus. What are the fucking odds? What are the odds that they're not going to ruin it? You know what I mean? And turn it into... I swear to God, my biggest fear is within 10 years, the combination of all the women that they're now going to add into the league, which they're not doing because they like women. They're doing it because of the Ray Rice thing. They got to turn it around. That's how bad. Roger Goodell fucked up so bad with that Ray Rice thing. Only suspending that guy for 4 fucking games out of the gate when he knocked his fiancée out and dragged her down the hall like a fucking caveman. He fucked that thing up so goddamn bad. Do you realize that within one football season, he fucking suspends Tom Brady for 4 games for absolutely nothing, and there's the first female head coach. Coach. Oh, he fucked that thing up so bad that this is the way he had to overcompensate so he could keep his $40 million a year job. So anyways, yeah. Just don't be just please, for the love of God. You know that broad that makes everything about herself? Don't be that fucking person, all right? Just please don't fucking do that. My biggest fear is that within 10 fucking years, with all this, talk about concussions and all that, and all the women that they're going to now, the floodgates are open, they're going to add into the league. My biggest fear is that, within 10 years, they're going to be playing 2-hand touch or flag football, and it's just going to be over. It's just going to be over. You know what I mean? I don't know. Just don't ruin it. Can you not do that? Even out here, in some fucking, I remember a long time ago, in the writer's room of this one show, right? They were on the fucking 8th season, and they're sitting around trying to come up with storylines for characters that they've written for well over 100 episodes. At that point, you're out of ideas. That's usually when you have a character get married, they have a baby, the cousin comes to town like Oliver. The Brady Bunch, they did so many episodes. They had 9 characters on that show. 3 boys, 3 girls, mom and dad, and Alice. And then Alice had to get a boyfriend, and it just kept going and going and going. They became a music group. They went to Hawaii. They went to the Grand Canyon. And when they were finally out of fucking ideas, this fucking kid, Oliver, the 7th kid, the 10th character, shows up. Who the fuck was he? They did one whole episode that was about an entirely different family that adopted a white kid, a black kid, and an Asian kid. They were just out of fucking ideas. So anyways, this show that I'm not going to name, they're in the writer's room. They're 8-9 seasons in, and they're at that point where they got to go to Hawaii or they got to go to the Grand Canyon or add Oliver. So they're sitting around trying to come up with new storylines So one of the writers, as a joke, suggests that one of the characters rapes the other character and blah, 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 which is totally over the top and fucking absurd. And there was a woman in the writer's room and she fucking sued. You know what I mean? Like, he's making light of... Is he really? Jesus, you're really going to sit there and take that literally in a comedy writing room? That's what I mean. That's what I'm talking about. That's my big fear, is that's going to happen. It's like, no, any sort of ball breaking will have to be done with it. Like, I'm just picturing guys in the locker room having to look over their shoulder before they make some stupid fucking joke. You know? Just imagine Ken Stabler whispering a joke in a locker room. Can you even picture that? That's what I'm worried about. It's going to ruin it. It's going to definitely have an impact. In a good way, but also a negative way. I just don't understand, like, and I'm truly asking this. I'm not saying this as like, maybe you guys think I'm a fucking pig here. I'm just asking, is there anything guys can just have that can just be guys only, that won't be considered like some sort of Illuminati sexist fucking thing that's holding women down? Is there a place where guys can just hang out and not have to look over their shoulder and worry about offending somebody? You know what I mean? Where is our brunch? That's what's going to end up happening. Guys are going to have to start going to brunch. You know? And then what's going to happen is, if they have a guys-only brunch, it's going to annoy women on some level, and eventually they're going to have to go there just because we say that they can't. It's fucking unreal. They have all women gyms. I don't give a fuck. I don't try to show up there in my Speedos going, oh, I should be able to use an elliptical in here too. You know? I mean, I don't know. And I'm also saying this, too, as a worker bee. I don't run any company, by the way. Before you get all Jesus Christ. What are you going to do? Anyways, let's plow ahead here. Ladies, just don't fucking ruin it, okay? Please don't do that. Like you ruined titty bars. I used to do a bit about that. You know, women just started going to titty bars, and then they would look over at you and be like, this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I was like, yeah, because you're here. Leave, and it'll get fucking crazy again. Everybody's on their best behavior because mom's here.
All right, can't get laid. Bill, I'm a huge fan. I listen to all your podcasts and stand-up. Now that I'm done sucking your dick, I love how you guys just can't give me a fucking compliment, and then you feel all uncomfortable because you actually enjoy the fucking podcast. Just be a man and give me a goddamn compliment. You know? No, done sucking your dick. You're uncomfortable. I'm not uncomfortable. I enjoy the praise. He says, I need some advice. I'm starting my sophomore year of college, and I've never been more depressed. My high school girlfriend broke up with me shortly after graduation, and I haven't gotten laid since. It's not like I stay in my room all day. I have friends, and I go to parties at least once a week, and even though I never enjoy myself, I just can't get a girl to be interested in me. I also have no idea what I want to do after college, and so I have no motivation to apply myself. The only reason I haven't dropped out is because my parents, who are paying thousands and thousands of dollars, I don't drop out so they won't be disappointed. I work out every day and I try to stay busy, but most of the time I just feel terrible. I'm hoping you have some advice for me. If not, go fuck yourself. And if you do, thanks, and go fuck yourself. All right. You obviously have a sense of humor. What would my advice be? You know what? I think you're trying too hard. All right? There's no reason to go to a party and not have a good time. Just go there and enjoy yourself. Don't worry about talking to women. Don't worry about trying to get laid. Just have a good time. Just enjoy yourself. Just go out in life and just fucking enjoy yourself. Okay? People are attracted to positive energy and somebody having a good time. It makes them want to be around you, and next thing you know, somebody's blowing you. I don't understand why the universe works that way, but it does. I know I am overly simplifying this, but, it's good that you know that you're depressed. I was depressed for about 20 years and didn't realize it because I was so used to feeling that way. I thought it was just the normal, just a normal state of things, I got to tell you this, dude. You are going to get a girlfriend, and you're going to find love, and you're going to get married, okay? But I got to tell you, there's a fucking misery that comes to that life, all right? There's a great thing, but there's also a misery, and she feels it fucking too, and that's a part of you, the individual you dies. So right now, dude, the 40-year-old you is going to look back at if the 40-year-old you could get in a time machine and sit down with you right now and give you a fucking pregame speech before you went to that party, I mean, that would be like Scared Straight. He'd be right in your face. You know, you have any idea what it's like to get up at 5 in the morning and change a shitty diaper? You get to sleep 10 hours a fucking day. You can't put a smile on your face when you go to a fucking party. Single, you could fuck anything that walks. You go down to that 7-Eleven. Look at me. You go down to that 7-Eleven. You get yourself a box of fucking condoms. You stick them, you stick one in your pocket. Prepare for success. You iron your goddamn shirt. You get down there. You have a good fucking time. All right? You're only going to be this age once. You say something like that. All right? I'm telling you. You're only going to be this age once. You're in college, dude. You are at it's like you won the NBA draft lottery. Women there are in the prime of their fucking life. Most of them are fucking single. It's going to happen for you. But if you're walking around and you're depressed and you're carrying that with you, if you're moping around like that makes people fucking, not want to be around you. So I would say drinking's probably not a good thing because that is a depressant. So scratch that. I can't even remember if I fucking told you to have a couple of beers. I wouldn't do that. I would just fucking enjoy yourself. You know what I would do? I would go do some shit for you. Fuck trying to get a girlfriend. Fuck trying to get laid. Fuck all of that. Just go out and what do you want to do? If you don't know what you want to do, go out and go try a bunch of different things and have a good time. Dude, you're single. Okay? You don't have to fucking deal with trying to figure out what's going to make them happy. Okay? Because as far as I can fucking tell, there isn't anything that's going to make them happy for longer than maybe a day. The amount of shit that you can do for them, and as you can tell, she's a couple of rooms away. The amount of shit that you can fucking do for them, and all it does is buy you a couple of days of happiness, is just fucking baffling. And I got to be honest with you. A lot of women look at it, guys, and they think that we're fucking stupid. And I think part of it is because they have the way their brain works, that multitasking, whatever it is, that shit talk that they always say, that women can multitask and guys can't. Well, I would say that generally speaking, this is very general, I think men have an advantage when it comes to just being happy. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't know it from my podcast and the way I talk and shit, but I'm happy as hell, and I've been happy for a long fucking time. All I need, dude, this is all I fucking need. The NFL package. I got a 6 of fucking Millers in my goddamn refrigerator. I got a new pair of sneakers or just some stupid bullshit like that. I order a fucking pizza. That's all I need. I'm happy the whole fucking day. I go on a hike with my dog in the morning. That's it. I'm good. Simple, stupid shit. Keeps me as a guy entertained. I don't have their high-level brain that they're always talking about and their ability. I can do 1,000 fucking things. Yeah, look at you. You're miserable. You're fucking miserable. So, I'm telling you, dude, you don't realize it, but where you are right now, dude, is you are in an absolute utopia. Do you know how many fucking guys right now would kill to be in your position? They'd even take 2 years of not getting laid. Who gives a fuck? Rub one out. Get on with your goddamn day. Get on with your fucking day of being single, not having to answer to anybody, and having the option of hitting on any beautiful woman that catches your eye. Take a trip anytime you fucking want. Go wherever you want to go. Do whatever the fuck. Dude, you're never going to get... And your parents are paying for your fucking education, dude. You're never going to be freer. All right? So start looking at your life that way. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a different fucking vibe. And and I'll tell you right now, you start doing that, good things are going to happen in the National Football League. No, I'm serious, dude. Something good is going to happen. But there will be a time in your fucking life, I'm telling you, where you will be married, you'll have kids, and you'll do that whole fucking thing. And that will be its own sort of utopia. But it's I don't know, dude, it's a beautiful, selfish time in your life that you should embrace. And you should not spend it feeling bad about yourself. All right? So there you go. Good luck to you.
Starting off humble, like that fucking Irish guy there with his chest tattoo running around talking all this shit that he was going to do to the half of the fucking world. Now listen, I don't watch a lot of UFC, so I don't even know any of the fucking names. But I watch that, and I'm part Irish. And that guy skipping around like a fucking leprechaun talking all that shit. It just fucking annoyed me. So now I'm rooting for Barney Rubble. Latino Barney Rubble, that Mendez dude, right? And fucking what's his face there? He looks like a combination of the guy from the Spin Doctors and that creepy mascot for Burger King. I can't figure out what he is, except he can fucking spin around and put his heel on your temple. All right, so I'm watching this shit, and he's talking all this shit, and he's doing all that Roy Jones, like, I'm going to humiliate you while I beat you, and which, of course, is making me root for the little fella. I mean, who do I see in there? Even though that guy's a pasty fuck with red hair just like me, he's actually got a full head of hair, the son of a bitch, right? I want to root for him. You know what I mean? Little fucking redhead solidarity. I want to root for this guy. But he's such a cunt. In the halfway through the first round, I'm like, you know what? Fuck this guy. Let's go, shorty! Right? I'm rooting for the little guy. The little guy fucking starts taking him to the mat. He's fucking throwing elbows. This fucking little fucking Burger King guy is eating these things, and then he gets up and he kind of nods like, oh yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Pretty good. You got to cut over your eye there, Freckles. Right? Next thing you know, next round comes out, and the fucking little guy is putting this freckled cunt on his back. Ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound. Okay? And fucking Ireland's Burger King guy gets back up. He gets back up, and all of a sudden, he's not talking shit anymore. He's got a little fucking, yeah, that was pretty good. Yeah, that was pretty good. Pretty good. He was on top of you the whole fucking round. Long story fucking short. I think it was the third round. He fucking does it again. He's just on top of this guy, beating his fucking ass. All right? He gets up, which is good on the fucking redheaded dude. He fucking gets up. Connor, whatever, McLaughlin, or is it Sarah McLaughlin? I don't know what the fuck his name is. Connor something or other, right? He fucking gets up, and the little guy's gassed. The guy got 2 weeks' notice. This other fuck's been training for months to fight this Josie, whatever the fuck his name is, right? So the little fella's gassed. He catches a fucking left. He goes down. He's covered up. He's not fighting back, but he's covering up. And immediately, the fucking dude steps in. All right, knock it off. That'll be it. And then the Spin Doctors guy jumps up and down, and jumps on the fucking cage, and starts crying into the Ireland flag. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that fucking Irish dude's not a badass fighter. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that little fella, he earned the right. He earned the right to ride out that round. Get to the chair, and then you look at him. You want to go out again? Granted, he was gassed. Maybe they saved him. But, I don't know. I don't know shit about the sport. I don't even know the fucking names. But all I can tell you was that evidently that was going to be a big fight. When Mayor McCheese there was going to fight Josie and the Pussy, whatever the fuck his name is, right? That's why the fight game, man. I'm telling you right now, anybody who is the Don King of the sport, you should have to dress like Boss Hogg, because to me, that fucking reeked of a quick stoppage. You can't tell me. Of course you can tell me. The fuck do I know? I'm just a comedian, right? And I play one on TV too, right? That just reeked of, holy fuck, we thought he was going to beat this little bastard's ass, and we're going to get a 2-for-1 on the pay-per-view here, because everybody, you know, the Irish guy talks so much shit, you're going to watch him anyways, right? I know I sound like a moron. Fuck you! It seemed like bullshit to me. It just seemed like bullshit. Or maybe I've watched Rocky too many times. I wanted that little fella to fuck the whole thing up. I wanted him to fuck up the big payday, and it didn't happen. Okay? Hats off to the Irish guy. All right? Double hats off, because he's also a redhead. You know, he's making us look good. God knows we take a bunch of shit. I just thought it was a quick stoppage, and good on him that he took that pounding and was able to get back up again. But I'll tell you right now, that was not a good fight for that guy, I would guess, because I would think that the other guy would be like, oh, that's very interesting. Very interesting what that little fella there did on only fucking 2 weeks training. Isn't it amazing how much shit I'm giving to people who in their sleep, like walking in their sleep, could fucking choke me out? The second I brushed up against them with any sort of energy that they didn't like, you know, as they're still muttering in their sleep about fucking a bowl of cornflakes, they'd still choke me out. Doesn't stop me from talking shit like the bitch that I am in my own podcast, in the safety of my own office within my house. Oh yeah, I'll fucking talk shit about anybody in here. You get me outside the confines of my gate. Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. I like your shirt. Anyways, it was a great. What a fucking. If you didn't rent it, man, I would rent that shit. UFC 189. For as much as I'm being a little fucking ragging cunt here, just wire to wire. Every fight was a fucking knockout.